Fascism is based on the absolute power of a strong leader. The state controls everything. Nationalism is central. The nation is seen as superior, and others are devalued. The media is strictly controlled to secure the regime's power. Propaganda is a key tool to manipulate the population. Racism is another characteristic. Certain groups are considered inferior and are persecuted. Militarism plays a major role. Violence and war are used to achieve the state's goals. In summary, absolute power, nationalism, media control, racism and militarism, these are the key features of fascism.
Fascism is a political ideology that emphasizes strong, centralized control, usually by a dictatorial leader. It often involves strict social and economic regulation and the suppression of opposition. Think about Italy under Mussolini or Germany under Hitler. Both are classic examples of fascist regimes. But fascism isn't just a thing of the past. Today we can see elements of it in various countries where leaders prioritize nationalism and suppress dissent. For instance, we can see many traits of fascism in North Korea, China, Iran, and many other countries with their strict control over citizens and suppression of opposition. Fascism thrives on unity and fear, often scapegoating certain groups to consolidate power. Understanding its characteristics can help us recognize and challenge it in our own times. Name a country that is displaying fascist traits currently.
Democrats are proposing to pack the courts with lawless activist judges. We have one. We must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda. She destroyed San Francisco. For the past 9 years, we've been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces anywhere on earth. We have a great country. We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics, and we're going to get that problem solved. I'm only fairness, but we will be brave, and we have a great country. We have radical left lunatics out there, and we just have to beat the hell out of them. This is the important election we've ever had, because our country is going to hell. It's going to hell. Together, we're going to defeat crooked Joe Biden, the most crooked president in history, the most incompetent president in history. We're going to take back the White House. The monument itself and fiercely defended our great American heroes from the Marxist and communist maniacs who were trying to blast them. They would have blasted that incredible work right off the face of that very beautiful mountain. Yet today, under Joe Biden, the Marxists, fascists, and communists are not just tearing down statues. They're tearing down our economy. They're dismantling our borders. They're destroying our laws. They're looting our middle class, mutilating our children. They're mutilating our children. Who would imagine?
You see all day long are crazy Democrats screeching on TV on behalf of foreign terrorists, hardened criminals, and violent illegal aliens. A political party exclusively dedicated to protecting terrorists, criminals, gangbangers, and murderers.
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything, and that's across the aisle.
Aligned with the Democrat Party.
We have radical left lunatics out there, and we just have to beat the hell out of them. Root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country.
You can't call someone who you disagree with or simply can't win an argument with a fascist, a dictator, a greatest threat to democracy in the history of civilization.
You've never heard one person from the left complaining about a social media company, shutting them out of their account, demonetizing them, deplatforming them, again, getting lockouts for liking a post of someone else's that's on the conservative side. It's a one-way street. I want to see freedom of speech. I want to see everyone be able to have everything, but that's not what we have today. You have a one-side bias that's so flagrant and extreme, and I hope that people realize that and see that in the book. And I hope those will come out on November 8th to the Barnes & Noble over by the Villages and see, and they can hear me say it for myself.
Triggered, How the Left Thrives on Hate and Wants to Silence Us is available now. Thanks for joining us, Don.
Joe Biden and the radical left are now coming for our freedom of speech. They want to bully us into submission. If they get their way, it will no longer be the silent majority. It will be the silenced majority. This has to stop. Freedom of expression used to be a liberal value, at least before the radical left took over. Because unlike Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats, our party is open to everyone. It starts by rejecting radicals who want to drag us into the dark and embracing the man who represents a bright and beautiful future for all.
She's an evil, sick, crazy bitch. Oh, no. It starts with a B, but I won't say it. The true divide in American politics today is between these far-left fascists led by Harris and her group, and you know who her group is. This is just one thing. It's all corrupt. She's corrupt. She's a corrupt person. I'm running against a totally corrupt person. And I'm really not running against her. I'm running against a corrupt machine called the Democrat Party.
The president also sought to assign blame, saying, quote, "We're dealing with a radical left group of lunatics, and they don't play fair, and they never did."
We have a communist running for the mayor of New York. And I wish him well. I may have to deal with him. I mean, it's not even conceivable. We must defeat Comrade Kamala Harris. I use that term because you know what that term means, right? Communist. She's a Marxist, communist, fascist, socialist. She's not actually a socialist. She's gone past that. Remember, I used to say, America will never be a socialist country. Actually, they skipped past socialism. They started at communism.
President Trump again is criticizing what he calls the radical left, whom he blames for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The president says while he wants the country to heal, he also referred to the radical left as lunatics. He vowed.
If we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
Law enforcement that was used for the last 4 years to harass and attack conservatives, to harass and attack Christians, to go after law-abiding families.
The Democrat Party does not fight for, care about, or represent American citizens. It is an entity devoted exclusively to the defense of hardened criminals, gangbangers, and illegal alien killers and terrorists. The Democrat Party is not a political party. It is a domestic extremist organization.
We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics, and we're going to get that problem solved.
Striking fear in the hearts of liberals everywhere, folks.
Liberals beware.
The Green New Deal and socialism. Democrats fight for their socialist agenda every single day. I'll fight even harder to stop them. I'm Marjorie Greene, Republican for Congress. Save America, stop socialism.
It's a DC gang!
Well, if it isn't Big Jim Lynn.
We're tired of being pushed around.
And open borders.
And gas prices.
It's time for a showdown.
I'm Eric Greitens, Navy SEAL, and today we're going rhino hunting. The rhino feeds on corruption and is marked by the stripes of cowardice. Join the MAGA crew. Get a rhino hunting permit. There's no bagging limit, no tagging limit, and it doesn't expire until we save our country.
Arizona Congressman Paul Gosar stood in the well on the House floor, flanked by GOP lawmakers as the censure resolution was read against him. Only 2 Republicans joined Democrats in censuring Gosar and stripping him of his committee assignments after he posted an animated video of himself flying in the sky, appearing to murder New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and going after President Biden with swords.
Bring out beds! Bring out beds!
Our great vice president comes through for us. He's a great guy. Of course, if he doesn't come through, I won't like him quite as much.
President Trump tonight trashing Dr. Anthony Fauci, complaining to his campaign staff about the government's top infectious disease expert.
People are tired of hearing Fauci and all these idiots. Every time he goes on television, there's always a bomb. But there's a bigger bomb if you fire him.
That's Fauci, who has served under 6 presidents, now needing personal security because of death threats.
I don't want to hurt him. He's been there for about 350 years. I don't want to hurt him.
Brian Krasenstein responded, killing the citizens of another nation who are civilians without any due process is called a war crime. And then J.D. Vance responded, quote, I don't give a shit what you call it.
99% of this city has been terrorized by 1% of the city. And the voices that you hear out there, those crazy communists, they have no roots, they have no connections to the city, they have no families they are raising in this city, they have no one that they are sending to school in this city, they have no jobs in this city, they have no connections to this community at all. We are not going to let the communists destroy a great American city, let alone the nation's capital. And let's just also address one other thing. All these demonstrators that you've seen out here in recent days, all of these elderly white hippies, they're not part of the city and never have been. And by the way,
days from now, we are going to defeat a communist known as Kamala Harris. Most radical left person ever to run for office. This is not what this country needs.
the Democrat Party, Sean, is terrorizing the American people. Just think about what is happening in our major cities, the bloodbaths every single weekend. One victim after another, one shooting after another, one murder after another. When you have Democrat politicians like Pritzker and Newsom that are freeing illegal alien pedophiles, illegal alien child abductors, illegal alien murderers back into our streets to kidnap people, to beat them senseless, to stab them and shoot them to death, this is terrorism being waged against the American people. And then your cities in America are all run by Democrats. Democrat city councils, Democrat mayors, Democrat politicians at every level. And it's not just the top 10. It goes much deeper than that. Every major city in America that is besieged by violence, mayhem, and bloodshed and narco trafficking are run by Democrats. Look, this has become their religion. Celebrating criminals, celebrating predators, celebrating illegal aliens who prey on our citizens.
But you have people spreading nonsense, spreading hate to try to take over that room. And that's the real issue in the room.
Because you're not making your parents proud by being rude and disruptive and discourteous. We are happy to answer a question. Respect the people around you so that they can hear. You don't play by the same rules. Let me tell you something. I bet you engage and go on online dating because you're impressing no one here to get a date in person.
So here's the thing, though. A significant part of this protesting wasn't from a group on the left. This was actually right-wing activists who were protesting.
We don't have to. We feel so compassionate because you see the mental health crisis happening.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not our job. We shouldn't have to live in fear while they figure out what's going on right there.
Right.
Put them in a mental institution, put them in a jail, and you guys figure it out. But people having to duck and dive on the trains and the buses, walking through the street, this is one case, but this is happening all across the country, and it's not a money issue. They have given billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill him.
I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. The Civil Rights Act was a mistake.
More cops should be around your neighborhood. Why do blacks have a broken family? White person were to come up and say, you know, black America really needs to get its act together and stop sleeping around all the time, and it needs to actually have
Why would you?
Because it's true.
When blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today, they were less murderous. There was less break-ins. Black America is worse than it has been in the last 80 years. What percentage of young blacks have both a mom and a dad raising them?
Of course we pander to blacks. They're in every TV commercial.
And they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action?
Things got worse since the Civil Rights Act. More violent.
Some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction.
Changes that we've seen, but frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, you know, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.